Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. I just bought this crazy new green screen from Lazada, which is like China's version of Amazon, and I'm obsessed with it. I've been buying so much crazy stuff from them, and it's all like really cheap, which is a huge deal for me. But I don't really understand how to use the green screen, and so it's just showing up as static in the background, which I kind of like it. Why not? It's like I'm stuck down in my rabbit hole, and that's where I am. I'm down in a deep, dark, static-ridden rabbit hole of sister wives, and I have so much to say about all of it. This video today is going to address the few comments that Gwen Brown has made responding to Payton's interview talking about Mary. But then the second part of the interview is going to talk more about the TikTok sensation that's spilling a lot of tea on TikTok about sister wives. And lastly, I'm going to talk about my own feelings about all of the publicity surrounding sister wives. The fact that, I run my own channel and I talk about them a lot. I gossip and talk about things that are all over the media. And yet I'm feeling really sad. And I want to push back up against people who are saying that now that the truth is finally coming out, we should shut it all down. We don't want to see the sister wives on TV anymore. We don't want to hear any more of this. They were lying. Get them off TV. I don't feel that way, and it's an unpopular opinion, but now that the truth is finally being discussed, I am ready to have a real show about the truth behind polygamy and what this family went through. I'm going to talk about all of that in this video, so I hope you'll stay tuned. But meanwhile, let's check out what's going on Coyote Pass, where the fifth wife, aka me, has been spending a lot of her time. Okay guys, here I am in my pajamas at Coyote Pass, because it's the only place that I can go to get away from all of the sister wives drama out there right now. It's like Cody and I have to come out here just to be alone, to not be hounded by the paparazzi, the YouTube channels, Payton Brown. It's not an easy time for us and our relationship. And Robin, she's struggling too. We had to give her a bunch of gift certificates to head out to Victoria's Secret so she could do some kind of like stress relief shopping. It's just like, this isn't easy on us. I hope you know that. Okay, so meanwhile, back in real life, the lovely Gwen Brown is responding to fans and subscribers who send her messages asking about what's going on and her response about Payton. She's being really sweet to respond to people this way, and several of the fans have posted screenshots of her responses to Sister Wives Facebook groups as well as Reddit. And here's one of them. The fan writes, "Hey, maybe a quick summary tonight, just general thoughts, and an actual video tomorrow. I'm sure this will be a difficult video, so keep your mental health as a priority." And I think they're talking to her about her YouTube channel where she makes videos. That being said, have you perceived Mary as being abusive? And Gwen responds, "She was scary as a kid, but she never attacked me, and I only saw her violent once. That was all a long time ago." I really like how Gwen is keeping it real. She is not like attacking Payton and saying that like what he has to say is wrong or inaccurate. She's saying like, my experience, yeah, she was kind of scary when I was younger, but she never, as she says, attacked me. And, I have seen her do things, but that was a very long time ago. And I think she's saying we've come a long way since then. Gwen did say in a couple of her videos that she really likes Mary and thinks that she's a sweet person. Okay, but now for some additional craziness. Toxic Tea on TikTok, that's the account I've been talking about that some people think may be run by someone who knows the family or even the kids, and it could be run by just some crazy person out there. It could be run by me or without a crystal ball. I'm just saying, anyone could be running this account, but I have been following it following it and watching what they have to say. You know, from my point of view, it looks like someone who does know something about the community, the AUB, and the family. They have put out a couple of additional videos which are garnering a lot of attention. So the first video is about Robin, and it talks about why TLC isn't really able to film in Robin's house. It seems to be making the statement that Robin has a child living with her that she may be like fostering or getting ready to adopt, who is a member of like her family. So someone who needed, I guess, a placement, and she's taken them and they cannot be seen on TV.
In my opinion, children in foster care, including kinship, cannot be photographed for newspaper, articles, Facebook, or any publication where their identities would become known to the public. In my opinion, this means that foster parents cannot post any picture of a foster child or kinship foster on social media that might allow the child in question to be identified. Likewise, it's also important to never reveal personal information about your child in care on the internet. Doing so jeopardizes their safety and violates their right to privacy.
Okay, so then, in an even more shocking video, this TikTok account goes on to kind of attack the Jessup family, which is a well-known family in the AUB, and actually Robin used to be married to David Jessup. The account seems to be saying that Robin knew some inside info, maybe even like some criminal happenings that were going on within the Jessup family, and she used it to her advantage to get, I'm not really sure what, but she got something out of it. The account is oddly starting to target the AUB and the Jessups. I'm kind of confused about so much of what's going on here. So let's have a listen.
All opinions expressed hereinafter are our own and should be used for entertainment purposes only. Claims have been made that Wife 4 has insider information about a connection between the Jessups and Jeffs and their misdeeds. There are reasonable grounds to suspect that this information was used as leverage to silence certain people. It appears as though this information was also used to expedite court proceedings. All opinions expressed hereinafter are our own and should be used for entertainment purposes only.
Then they posted this weird video.
Raymond Merrill Jessup. Raymond Merrill Jessup. Raymond Merrill Jessup. Raymond Merrill Jessup. Raymond.
It just basically says the Jessup name over and over again. So I have no idea what's going on here. If you guys do, let me know. I'm stuck in this crazy rabbit hole and I don't know what to think about it. Some people have said, which I think is like the funniest possibility of all, they're speculating that Robin's son Dayton is just sitting like out in the RV at Robin's house, putting up these TikToks, playing a prank on everyone. All of us and his family as well. And I think that would be like so amazing. Go Dayton. So who really knows what's going on with this account? Check it out and let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. I don't know what to think anymore. Some people are saying it's like the catfish Mary. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I do want to talk a little bit about my unpopular opinions. So many people are speaking out. It is all over, even like the mainstream media and definitely on YouTube, that people are like, the sister wives need to go down. Cancel this show. Mary is an abuser. This is an abusive situation. These kids were treated unfairly. Peyton is telling the truth and he needs to be listened to. Let's get this show off of TV. Okay, so I've also followed Without a Crystal Ball, who's been like covering this show for a really long time, and she speaks to even like Christine's aunt here and there about the AUB, and she's spoken out about like the dangers of polygamy and the AUB. But she recently posted this post, which now there are good and bad things about Without a Crystal Ball. I have a lot of subscribers who love her and a lot of subscribers who hate her. There are good and bad things about me and the Sister Wives and everyone out there. But I'm only using this example of what Without a Crystal Ball posted to represent like a lot of people out there who feel the same way that she does. So she made this posting. I'm going to show it to you. It's not just representative of what she has to say. A lot of people agree with her, and I disagree with them, and I want to talk about it. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so this is what Without a Crystal Ball posted on her Facebook account. She said, in regards to the interview that was done with Peyton and everything that he had to say on the interview, as an advocate for children and staunchly against child abuse and exploitation, I am stating now that I do not support any of the adults on Sister Wives. Cody and all of the women have participated in the exploitation and abuse of their children for profit on national television for 13 years, in my opinion. While I'm glad the women have left, they are still culpable for their role in the lies to the public and the exploitation and abuse of their children. They have committed welfare fraud, bankruptcy fraud, and numerous crimes, in my opinion. No woman, this certainly sounds a lot like that TikToker. No woman that leaves an abuser should stay on a show to help the abuser. The wives that stay on Sister Wives are complicit to the abuse of their kids for profit, in my opinion. Given the totality of everything that has come to light, I cannot support this any longer. I stand against child abuse. I am a product of corporal punishment and will never, ever stand by anyone that hits a child ever. I broke the cycle, and my son is a good kid who has never been hit. If Christine and Janelle really care about their kids, they should leave the show. Otherwise, they are supporting an abuser. Okay, so again, this isn't just about Without a Crystal Ball, because so many people have picked up on what she had to say. Many people were supporting these statements, supporting her and her opinions. A lot of outlets have picked up on it, and they've been like, yeah, this show should be canceled. These women are complicit in the abuse of children. And I am really struggling with having this kind of rhetoric happen from the simple fact that Peyton Brown, a kid who deserves our support and our understanding, went on a YouTube channel interview. I'm going to be really honest that Peyton is someone, because I've seen it in myself, I've seen it in my kids and in other people that I love. Peyton is someone who can act somewhat manic at times, especially like very impulsive. Not saying that he has any kind of mental health issue. I don't know anything about that, but I mean, this happens sometimes for people. He seems to be quite impulsive, going on shows, saying certain things, talking about situations in a way that he may regret later. And I think we have some evidence that he regretted it, because he was scheduled to go on another talk show, another YouTube channel, and do an interview just a couple of days later, and he ended up coming out and canceling that interview with no reason why. He's also done this in the past. I think that he speaks from his heart, speaks out, says what he thinks, and may regret some of it later. Okay. So, I absolutely believe that Peyton deserves to be listened to. I loved the interview that he did. I certainly believe that Mary went through stages with certain people where she was quite scary to be around. She scares me at times now, just even watching her LuLaRoe videos where she's trying to sell her t-shirts and leggings. She's a certain kind of person. I remember watching Mariah and Mary early on. Mariah obviously goes by Leon now, but back then it was almost like Leon was just so overwhelmingly wound up tight, scared to ever make a mistake, trying to be like the perfect daughter. And you could tell that she had been raised in a certain way that may have been somewhat controlling. So it really isn't a shock to hear Peyton say some of these things. Now, Peyton never came out and fully explained what he meant by saying that he was frightened of Mary. He did say that it was more than just verbal interactions with her which scared him, which has led some people to say that there were probably physical interactions. This is where I'm going to say some things that make people uncomfortable, and it's going to be unpopular and people don't want to hear it, but I'm going to say it anyway because this is who I am, and I'm going to be who I am on my page. So the reality is there are countless numbers of good parents who spank and use corporal punishment. in their raising of their children. There are people in my family who do spank their kids, and their kids are lovely people and they're good parents, and they have set up boundaries in which they say, like, this type of behavior will equal a spanking. Now, for me personally and my kids, I'm not in a situation where I've ever used any kind of corporal punishment because it's not the type of thing that would work for my kids. But I do not judge other parents for the decisions that they make. Whatever you think about it, whatever I think about it, I'm not going to demonize these people for their journey as a parent. So I'm just really offended by the fact that it seems like there's no way for people to support Peyton and also like be understanding and support what may or may not have been going on with Mary and the other women in the family. Peyton's feelings and issues are totally valid, but we also know from some of the other kids like Gwen, they didn't necessarily experience the same feelings and issues, and that's valid too. For example, Gwen has really targeted, my understanding, maybe I'm speculating from all the different things that I've looked at and all the things that I've heard Gwen say, but my understanding is that Gwen feels that Peyton is not a full supporter of gay rights and women's rights, and that's something that really bothers her. And I feel like her experience and her feelings are valid. Then Peyton on the other side has come forward and said, I feel like I'm a really great supporter and someone who really understands and cares about gay rights and women's rights, and I'm very supportive of all kinds of people, and I think his point of view is also valid. It's really killing me to watch people be totally unable to accept that nothing is really black and white. We have very little evidence about what went on between the sister wives and the kids. We have this little bit of a small piece of information in a statement made by Peyton, which he hasn't fully backed up. We have a lot of speculations out there. We have this TikToker, we have people on Reddit talking about different things, but it hasn't been fully substantiated. I like to talk about these things on my channel. I don't believe them to be 100% the truth. We don't know everything about this family or the people that are in it. Peyton can be right and Mary can also be a good parent. Like, maybe her relationship with Peyton was really bad and she made some major mistakes that should be addressed. Maybe that's what's going on. But maybe Mary was a good parent to some of the other kids in the household. Or maybe there's a lot that was going on with Mary that was really difficult and made parenting super stressful for her. Maybe Mary experienced unknown corporal punishment in her childhood, and she had a lot of difficulty moving away from that as she became an adult. Should we totally disavow what happened to Mary in her childhood? And you guys know I'm not a fan of Mary's, and yet I can still say I'm not going to demonize her for mistakes that she's made. I feel the same way about Robin, Christine, Janelle. It's not black and white. They're not all good or all bad. They're not all right or all wrong. They just aren't. It's a show showing us a different kind of lifestyle, was portrayed in a way that wasn't always really truthful to what was going on in reality. Now we finally have these kids coming forward willing to speak the truth, and we're basically pushing them to shut the heck up because we're going to take everything they say and blow it up, blow it completely out of proportion, and make sure the show is canceled so that their parents and their families lose income from finally speaking out. They finally left Cody and now they're going to lose the income they had from the show as well. That's going to be great for them. I think about how much I want to support Christine and Janelle, and the fact that, shutting down the show could really affect them negatively in certain ways. And lastly, this is an opportunity. It's a great opportunity for TLC and the Brown family to finally do what they always said they were trying to do with the show, which is educate people about polygamy. They can make this show all about leaving polygamy and what it looks like for this family, what it looks like for the kids. I want to hear what the kids have to say. I want to see what the parents have to say in response, because even if Mary spanked or did something physical to one of the children, including Peyton, or if she was psychologically abusive and acted crazy, there's something to be talked about and learned from when it comes to dealing with that kind of a situation. It could make a great reality show to actually go back and address some of these issues and talk about them. I just don't get it. So I know that I highlighted this statement by Without a Crystal Ball, but a lot of people feel the same way. I will say that Without a Crystal Ball quickly took the statement down, so I don't know if she regretted posting it. How do you guys feel about all of that? Let me know below. I've got to head off to bed, but it was great seeing you all tonight. I hope you'll join me again, maybe sometime, to head down another rabbit hole.